Hello, everyone. Welcome to week six. We are gradually getting to the end of this our course on emerging technology and pedagogy. And this week we shall be looking at cloud, mobile, and interactive technology as well as micro learning. And let's get into it. So the outline that we shall be looking at, or these are the key points of what we shall be looking at for this particular presentation today. And we shall be looking at the introductory aspect of this mobile technology, cloud computing, as well as micro learning. And we shall briefly also define what micro learning is. Um, we shall also look at some key features of micro learning, then talk about some instructional benefits of it, the role of cloud technologies, the role of mobile technologies, and the role of interactive technologies, which we looked at in our previous model in model 5. And then we finalize this particular video with an example, some examples of micro learning activities. So we will explore, like I made mention in the outline, that we are going to explore micro learning and how cloud and mobile technologies, as well as integrative technologies, like what we looked at in our last week discussion, to enhance interactive value. So the question now is, what is micro learning? So, micro learning, as the name implies, is a short, uh, focused learning unit designed around specific skills or concept, and it can be delivered in bit by bit or in smaller pieces. And this makes it more digestible, or we divide it into digestible segments, accessible at any time and anywhere. And making it accessible at any time and anywhere is where the cloud technologies, as well as their cloud devices as a matter of concern. So, just to make it simple, in ordinary terms, we talk about micro learning in the form that you have a particular specific objective that you want to achieve, and you try to break this down into smaller pieces to facilitate understanding of the content or whatever you want to be achieved at the end of the day. So instead of making it just at the big having a bigger concept that will be probably be difficult to digest, you make it in bits or in smaller pieces for it to be easily digestible. So let's take, for example, if you have a bigger meat, or if you are eating a food and you take just a big uh, handful of your the food and you put it in your mouth, how difficult is this for you to absorb it, to chew and digest? That's the same way we try to use this concept of micro learning. Now, the features of micro learning. So, like I mentioned in the previous slide, the name micro means that it's very small, and they are usually between 2 to 7 minutes in terms of the kind of activity or the kind of objective that you want to achieve. And instead of always for micro learning, it's always directed towards a single learning objective. So if you want to achieve a particular number of objectives, and if you use a learning activity that has more than one learning objective, then you may not be focusing or be trying to achieve micro learning technique. So it goes with a single learning objective, and on demand and flexible. So because we want to make this understandable, we want to increase conceptual understanding, we make it quite flexible and on demand, so that learners will have easy access to it and be able to understand whatever is being stipulated or taught. And we also have the multi-format. So we try to have diverse activities or learning directions that will favor all kinds of learners, whether they are visual, kinesthetic, or interactive learners. And it's also learner driven and also self-paced. So if we remember what we had last week in terms of our interactive video, how you can pause and play, you can reverse and go back, and you can watch it over and over again. We're getting uh, uh, at your own pace. So if you are a slow learner, you are a medium learner, or you are a fast learner, this micro learning gives you the leverage and the opportunity for you to be able to learn at your own pace without being compelled to follow the pace of anybody, because you can pause and play at the same time. Now, what are the benefits? Now, there are so many benefits of micro learning. We have already tackled some of them, but for the sake of emphasis, let's look at this 4 or 6 of these particular objectives. Number one is that it reduces cognitive load. Like I mentioned in the earlier example of eating food, where you put so much in your mouth to the extent that you cannot easily chew it to digest it faster, it becomes difficult and you can easily get choked even by the food. The same applies to micro learning. So when you reduce the cognitive load as to the amount of content or knowledge or a particular subject that the mind receives, then you are automatically given the opportunity for the mind or your cognitive capacity to take it in bits or in pieces. So it takes it in bits or pieces and facilitate easy understanding. So this is what uh, micro learning can bring to us, and it doesn't. It makes it it gives us the opportunity to reduce some kind of overwhelming or overworking of our memory, because each and everyone has his or a target in terms of the capacity of the brain. So we try to not make it overloaded in such a way that we'll be able to learn and understand effectively and efficiently. Number two of the benefits of this micro learning is that it also increases engagement. Like we talked about, that it is short and it's very interactive. Like an example of the videos that with the interactive videos that we created last week, you realize that they are accessible and they are very interactive. So it makes the learners to engage in whatever they are doing, and it boosts their motivation, and it makes them to be involved in whatever is being taught. And in only just a matter of few minutes, they're able to understand and be able to get the grips of whatever is being taught. It also brings about better retention. And so once they take it in bits or pieces and it reduces the cognitive load, it allows for different categories of learners to find a way to recall whatever is being taught and be able to apply it in the near future in terms of solving real world problems. And we can also say that just in time learning, so it supports diverse learners and it enhances their accessibility, because they are on the internet. So once you have access to a mobile device or a mobile computer, then you can easily access them anywhere. And it gives us the opportunity to learn at anywhere, at any time, at our own convenience without being going through any kind of stress. Now, cloud technology and micro learning. So, like I said, cloud enables a centralized resource in terms of scalability, and it allows technology or software developers to seamlessly have the LMS, that's large language models, uh, 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 integrated into our micro learning activities, and it gives us access to cross device access. So you can access them on your tablet, you can access them on your computer, you can access them on your desktop in your offices, anywhere. So cloud technology is a kind of opportunity that gives us that software capacity for you to be able to centralize or the resource in terms of our learning, teaching and learning activities, or teaching and learning content that will make it to be accessible in any part or at anywhere at any time by all learners. And mobile technology and micro learning. So just like cloud computing, they work hand in hand, and the mobile supports anytime, anywhere learning, just like the cloud computing. That will serve as like a storage technology, and the mobile technology is what is going to help us or assist us in terms of our learning, and that is what will help us to have our learning at anywhere at any time. And it gives us the kind of leverage to be able to push notifications to know whatever we are doing. It gives us media rich models in terms of our learning activities or interactive activities, and also contextual learning. So this is what the mobile technology and micro learning does together. So cloud computing together with the mobile learning, as well as micro learning works hand in hand together. They serve as complement to each other, and that is why they are so important. Now, some interactive learning activities. So, we've talked a lot about this interactive learning activities last week, and this we know that this gives us a kind of active learning, gives us personalized feedback at any time, instant feedback, and personalized pathways as well as engagement. So, like for example, if you have an interactive video and it has a quiz in it that you created with Edpuzzle, and it's just a short video, like a short video that has talks about how photosynthesis works, and you have multiple choice questions that at every maybe at 1 minute, at 2 minutes, and at 3 minutes, you are able to stop to answer questions as to see how you understand the content that is being taught. Then it gives us that kind of interactive nature in terms of technologies and micro learning. We can talk about other examples like if you have a mini interactive simulation video, like in terms of PhET, and you simulate to know the state of matter, solid moving to liquid, and liquid moving to gas. You see how the simulation goes on, and it guides you to see whatever is happening at every stage when you are moving from solid to liquid. You know that it's melting. You are moving from liquid to gas. You know that it's going to sublimation and all that. And we are able to get immediate feedback in terms of the simulations for the pH simulation activity that is being developed by University of Colorado. We can also have another one, a quick response video, maybe 3 to 4 minutes, that talks about how you can construct good versus poorly constructed hypothesis. And we are able to identify in terms of our simulation or our activities how to answer questions or identify which one is the best option and which one is correct or poorly written one, and apply the structure for new scenarios. So these are some examples of microlearning that we can talk about. And for me, as someone in the science field, I prefer going with the simulations because that is usually done for physics, biology, and chemistry. And so to conclude, I would say that micro learning delivers a short, focused learning experience that boosts engagement and reduces cognitive load. And when it's supported by cloud, mobile, and interactive technologies, it's become flexible, accessible, and efficient approach for modern learners. And by way of recommendations, I would say that if you want to use micro learning and together with cloud computing and mobile technologies, then we should try to use one objective at a time. Uh, we try to host materials on cloud platforms for easy access, leverage mobile tools anywhere. That gives us the opportunity for anywhere learning. Let's try to incorporate the activity of interactive elements to increase engagement. And we should also keep content simple and to minimize the cognitive load, as I mentioned earlier on. And we can also talk about use the learner's feedback to refine our models to make them better in the future and encourage the use of it frequently and repeatedly to increase the mastery. These are the references that I use for this particular presentation. And thank you very much for joining me. I'll be looking forward to seeing you in our discussion forum. Until then, see you in our week 7 as we wrap up in this course. Cheers and go Tigers.